There we go. Okay, so first things first, let's do the land acknowledgement. We sit on the traditional territories of many great Indigenous peoples, and I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge that the land that I'm sitting on and the land that you're sitting on is part of the traditional territory of the Chippewa, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi nations. And because of the agreements laid out by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum, this is now considered the home of the Delaware Nation. These First Nations, known as the Anishinaabeg and the Lunapui, agreed to mutual sharing of the obligations, responsibilities, and privilege to be stewards of the land and of the water. Today, these responsibilities, obligations, and privileges extend to all people. Okay, and then I promised some poetry again from Donna Ashworth, who I'm just more and more as I read this little book. I'm just so what's the word? Just impressed, but it's not just impressed. They just so many of these things resonate with me, and it feels kind of like she's speaking for me, and I love that when something just feels that right. So this one is called Small Wins. Um, Small wins, little things. Look for the beauty in everything. Deep breaths, wide smiles, helping and going the extra mile. Warm drinks and soft chairs. Just letting someone in, sorry. Warm drinks and soft chairs. Sending a text to show they care. Kind words, happy talk. Feeling the wind on blustery walks. Fairy lights, early nights. Finding a book that fits just right. Hot baths, cozy socks, safe in your kingdom when the doors are locked. Small wins, little things. Look for the beauty in everything. I would like to say Donna Ashworth is British, and so fairy lights are what we call Christmas lights, and especially the smaller ones. Okay, the next one that I have is called What a Thing That Would Be. Being around someone who likes their self is like sitting in the springtime sun. It lifts your soul and spins it around on a virtual dance floor, like your favorite song, your favorite treat, and a lingering hug all rolled into one. The reason for that is simple. People who like themselves as they are don't judge, and they don't look for flaws. Neither do they filter your words for signs of weakness. They have learned to stop all that. They accept themselves naturally, and so they accept you too, just as you are. Even better, they see you in all your glory, the way you should be seen. It's a truly uplifting experience, which brings a whole new energy of its own. And you should seek it out more often, my friend. After a while of that, maybe, just maybe, you could be a person who likes their self too, and you could bring that sunshine to someone else in need. What a thing that would be. And the last one that I have for you is called Know Yourself. Know yourself, they say, and don't be led astray. But how can I know who I am? Excuse me, when I'm different every day. Some days I am the smart one with the answers people need. And some days I'm the strong one standing up to take the lead. On other days, I'm sure that if the wind blew me too hard, I would shatter like a glass into a million tiny shards. And on those days, I cower and I hide out from the world, waiting on my inner child to blossom and unfurl. And each day I'm surprised by the newness that I see, the things that I'm finding out, the complexity of me. So, how to know yourself when you're all things rolled into one? You simply must decide to love whatever you become. I really like that one. So much about acceptance and uh, and having compassion for yourself, and just lovely, lovely messages. As I mentioned in the invite to you, I thought we would do a little review. Um, I just, can't help but remind myself that these meditations are being recorded, and so I always think, okay, what would I think would be a helpful message? What information is helpful to hear? And for a lot of you who've been with me for a while now, this is probably pretty repetitive, but some of it never hurts to hear again and again, and just to be reminded. So I thought tonight we would review polyvagal or vagus nerve massage, and I guess I should sort of remind what the vagus nerve is. The vagus nerve is a system of nerves that stretches sort of across the periphery of your skull and then kind of comes down the back of your head to the base of your skull and then down your spine. And as it travels along the back of your spine, it kind of has nerves that reach around and affect heart and lungs, so respiratory and heart rate. And then it travels down and it also affects your belly. So this is the thing that when we um, feel that prickling behind our eyes as if we're going to cry, that's the vagus nerve kind of sending a message. When we catch something in our throat because something has taken our breath away, either through pain, sadness, or joy, that's the vagus nerve informing you that something big is happening, and on and on and on. And again, that feeling of, oh, and my heart broke when we see something sad or we experience something sad. That's your vagus nerve affecting your heart. And letting you know that something has deeply affected you. And then your belly, sometimes we have that feeling in the pit of our stomach, like if something has been terribly, terribly disappointing or sometimes unnerving, we can have this kind of sensation in our belly. And all of that is the vagus nerve informing you of something. The interesting thing about this very long system of nerves that stretches all the way down your back to the base of your spine is that it is afferent and efferent, which means it both informs and it also receives information. A lot of the information that the vagus nerve is taking in through our eyes, ears, mouth, nose, and other senses, uh, we don't even realize. Sometimes it is so quick and fast, and before you know it, a message is being sent to feel something that we wouldn't necessarily know to feel, but something has been seen, and sometimes it's on a very, very almost unconscious level. So the vagus nerve is a very, very important system of nerves that kind of really contributes to our humanness. It stimulates the fight flight system. So anytime there's something scary going on, the vagus nerve is really impacted and is sending messages to parts of our brain that say stimulate adrenaline and cortisol and all these things, these hormones that are going to help us fight flight. So it's really, really important. And sometimes it can kind of be overwhelmed and overloaded when there's a lot going on and we have that feeling of being overstimulated, when it just feels like our head is going to explode or our heart's breaking or going to break, or we just don't feel um, sort of comfortable and safe. Sometimes there's very, very good reasons for that, and we don't want to dismiss it, but sometimes it's just from sheer overstimulation that happens. And so I want to show to you tonight a way to help the vagus nerve to relax quite a bit, and keep doing its job, of course, but just to give it a break every now and then. So without further ado, I think most of you have done this with me before, but maybe not. So you just take your hands, your warm, gentle hands, and place it on the top of your head. And then in this moment, just feel around. Like, have you ever done that? I know some of you have with me before, but just feel the shape of your skull and feel the hardness of your skull. And those of you who have hair, maybe you can feel your hair. If you don't have hair, then feel your lovely bald head, whatever it is. And just really, and then almost in this moment, pausing to see if you can feel the warmth of your hands on your scalp. You know, when we do a body scan and I ask you to feel the top of your head, and sometimes there's not much there to feel at all. And in this moment, can you sort of maybe just, and what I'm doing is kind of depressing the top of my head a little bit, almost like I'm massaging my hair or shampooing, right? So just doing that kind of all over. And then kind of bringing your thumbs down behind your ears and kind of really all over your scalp. Just a lovely sort of shampooing rub. Not too hard, but just really kind of, yeah, feeling that. And then pausing. And then, and oh, by the way, if you notice that you're yawning or you're sighing heavily, taking in deeper breaths, that's very normal. That's kind of what happens when we're helping the vagus nerve to relax. It's a good sign. So if you're hearing me yawn, or don't take it personally. That's just my vagus nerve relaxing. So again, you're going to take your fingers and you're going to maybe like stroke your hair back and just all those things that feel especially nice when someone else does them to us. I'm always reminded of that. I don't know about you. When we were kids, we would take, we would pretend we were cracking an egg and then letting it kind of let the yolk sort of fall all the way down. And it would always give shivers. And that's the vagus nerve, by the way, sort of perceiving that. So this time, take your fingers and kind of massage your eyebrows a bit. And you can almost sort of pull them apart. For me, that feels quite good, but maybe there's some other kind of massage that for you can feel really lovely and good. Just giving those eyebrows, those expressive eyebrows, a bit of a rub. And again, that's going to make me yawn, so I apologize, but oh, and then over to your temples, really rubbing those temples, feeling the warmth of your fingertips and very gently. And then, your cheekbones and then down into the soft tissues of your face, like underneath your cheekbones, between your cheekbones and your jaw. Just that space right in there, giving that a good rub. And then, oh, your jaw. And so putting your fingers along your jaw and again, gently, because you don't want to hurt yourself but and open and closing your jaw and even a little jaw wobble, just like that. And how good that can feel above your upper lip, just sort of little massage there. And then taking your warm, gentle hands, just kind of placing it over your eyes, right over your eyes, so that there's some darkness. Just then, when you've got your hands over your eyes, maybe cup them a bit so that you can actually open your eyes behind your hands. And there's nothing to see, maybe a little prick of light or something, but you're trying to keep it as dark as you can with your eyes open. I'm able to see a bit of red, and I think that's, the flesh of my hand, the light shining through my hand. That's about it. And it's very soothing because so often when our eyes are open, there's much information to be taken in, things to look at, and we do that, and that creates a little bit of strain. So then I want you to close your eyes now behind your hands and very gently remove your hands. But before you take your fingers completely away, just flutter your eyes open so that it's not a huge shock as you come back to the lightness of your room. And then just taking your hands and resting them alongside of your face, your precious face, like you're a precious child. And in this moment, if it feels okay, it might seem kind of hokey, but can you send a little message of endearment to yourself, like, hello, sweetie, or there you are. Oh, you've had such a hard day, whatever, just some lovely, kind words to yourself. Then I'm going to invite you to take your fingers and kind of go like this and slide your ears like slide your fingers between your ears. So you've got two of your fingers in front and two of your fingers in back. And just hold them there for a minute. Kind of give a little rub, sort of rotating your ears around just by massaging the skin there. And then I'm going to invite you to sort of very gently play with your ears, like you're playing with Play-Doh or silly putty or something. You're going to take your ears and you're gonna rub them, all around, down to the lobes and behind. Really, really rubbing. And I mean, it should feel good. So if you're, doing something that doesn't feel good, then stop doing that and do something that feels good yourself. And gently pulling them up, maybe even pulling them out a bit, and then a little bit down. And then if this feels okay, sticking your fingers very gently inside, not very far. In fact, it might be a little more difficult to hear me, but if you can, just sticking your fingers inside your ears and very gently rotating your fingers around and around so that you're kind of creating a deeper massage inside. And that one makes me yawn inside too. And then let's bring your fingers back to the side of your ears like we had them before. And again, what I'm going to invite you to do here is very, very slowly notice the warmth of your hands alongside your face and bring your hands very slowly, almost like melting butter, alongside of your throat, your neck, and just press down, not to cut the air off or anything, but just press down so that you can feel it. And then you're going to just eventually let your hands rest over top of your chest. And I don't know if you can see, I'm going to just tilt the camera a bit, but I'm letting my hands rest like this right here. And there's a reason for that, and I'll show you in a minute. So let your hands rest there for a minute. Take a nice breath in, slow inhale, and a lovely slow exhale. Then you're going to take one of your hands and you're going to reach up and you're going to massage those trapezius muscles, those thick muscles that connect your neck to your shoulders. Just nice rub there. Rubbing. Yeah, and then you can rest this hand and then bring this hand up and do the same to the other side. Yeah, just like that. Really getting in. And then let your hands rest again. And then a gentle message. Just noticing in this moment. And you can now let your hands drop to your lap if that feels more comfortable, because sometimes holding them up can create some tension through here. So just letting your hands relax at your side or in your lap. And just in this moment, this might be interesting for you, in this moment with your eyes closed, just scanning through all those places, top of your head, your face, your ears, your throat, and your chest. Just seeing if there's any sensation to be noticed. There might be some relaxation, a feeling of letting go, but there might not be. That's really okay. You haven't done anything wrong. It's just the way it is in this moment. I'm just going to ask that you pause for a moment here, just for about 30 seconds. Again, just breathing with sensations that may or may not be present for you in this moment. About 5 more seconds. I'm going to chime the bowl. That's the polyvagal or vagus nerve massage that we can do anytime. Um, I have to say that I use that sometimes if I'm a little wound up and I'm kind of trying to ready myself for sleep. I might get into bed and get real comfortable and then just do a little bit of a massage of my head and my face and just my ears. So yeah, so give that a try if ever you're feeling a little overwhelmed or a little keyed up, as the expression goes. So I thought, since we've already sort of um, done that body awareness, but I thought, it never hurts to bring more and more awareness to ourselves and our bodies, because again, as I've said to you other times, that knowing yourself and knowing your body and knowing what you feel, that sort of self-awareness can be very, very healing and even preventative sometimes. When you know yourself really, really well, um, you can be aware that things are going well, or sometimes things aren't going well, and then you might have more choice in that time frame. But well, what do I need? Do I need more sleep? Do I need to eat more fruit? Do I need to drink more water? Do I need to, you know, take care of myself in some way? Do I need to make an appointment with my doctor to talk about any concerns? So those are really good reasons why it's helpful to have body awareness. And that's my big my big motivation for bringing and helping you find time to bring awareness to your body. So, having said that, we've kind of done, this section of our bodies, but we didn't get to do much with our arms. And I don't know about you, but I hold a lot of tension and tightness in my arms. So I'm just going to invite you to, we've sort of scanned through, and I just like you to bring some awareness now to your shoulders. And this might be helpful if we raise our shoulders up, just kind of bringing some tension to those muscles between our shoulders and our neck, the trapezius muscles, and we're hiking those shoulders up. And then we're going to take a breath in. And as we feel that urge to exhale, we're going to drop those shoulders down. And we're going to bring our awareness deep inside the muscles and the tissues of our arms, those large muscles in our upper arms, and the bones, and the muscles, and all of the cartilage and all the connective tissue. We're going to let our awareness travel down the length of our arms into our elbows. And if this feels right, noticing the posture, the position of your arms. Are they mostly straight? Are they bended at the elbow? How are they in this moment? Are they resting on your lap? Or are they on an armrest? Or are they alongside your body someplace? What can you notice about your arms in this moment? And we'll carry on with our awareness, now bringing our awareness to our lower arms and all the muscles and tendons and bones, tissues that make up our lower arms, right into our wrists, all the tiny bones that allow our hands to move freely, be so connected to our arms and into our hands, muscles and bones between our palms and the backs of our hands, our thumbs, our forefingers, our middle fingers, our ring fingers and our little fingers, the space between. What are you able to notice about your hands, your arms in this moment? Is there warmth? Is there tingling, pulsing? Or maybe there's not much to notice at all. All of it is awareness. We're welcoming that awareness to your arms and your hands. And can you feel the weight of your arms as gravity gently pulls your arms away from your ears, closer to the earth's center? The gentle, mysterious energy of gravity that can bring so much groundedness and comfort, solidness to our experience, especially when we really try to focus and appreciate that gentle, soothing, and mysterious energy. Resting right here, right now, with the sensations in your arms, in your hands. Just for a few more seconds. And I'd like to invite you to take a lovely, gentle breath in, if possible, through your nose, filling your chest and lungs. And then how about exhaling, this time through your mouth, the sound. Let's do that again, breathing in through the nose, filling your chest and lungs, noticing the expansion, and then exhaling with sound. This time, breathing in through your nose, filling your chest and lungs. And instead of breathing out your mouth, gently, slowly breathe out through your nose. Perhaps noticing the warmth as you do that. And in this next moment, I'd like to invite you to bring your awareness to your chest as you breathe in and your upper back. Just the movement of the breathing in and out. What can you notice about your upper body as you breathe in and out? Maybe there's a slight movement, maybe not so much. If we're already belly breathers, then there's going to be more sensation, more movement lower down. But before we leave your upper body, taking a moment to maybe place hands on heart and just express some gratitude to your heart, to your lungs, for working so hard every second of every day. Never sleeps, does it? Our beating heart and our breathing lungs. Sending a message of gratitude, appreciation, to thank our hardworking heart. And then maybe letting your hands drop to your belly. Noticing in this moment, what is your belly doing? Is there softness? Is there some tension? Are you holding it in? Relaxing and letting your belly be soft. And your lower back, because it's all connected, right? So soft belly, comfortable lower back. Noticing whatever sensations that you're able to notice about your abdomen. Points of contact if you're leaning against or resting on a surface that's at your back. Maybe you're aware of your clothing around your belly. And if indeed your hands are resting on your belly, can you feel the warmth of your hands? And the movement as you breathe in and out. Let's just follow that for a few moments as best you can, knowing that indeed your mind will wander. And when it does, and you are aware, just come back to the sensation of breathing. Whatever you're able to notice as you breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. A few more moments following the breath, expecting that the mind may wander. And when it does, gently inviting it back to awareness of your breathing. In and out. About 10 more seconds following the breath. Gentle awareness of the breath in this moment. Before we move on to other parts of your body, just take a moment to scan through again, starting maybe at the top of your head. Just noticing if there's been any reaccumulation of any tension or tightness. And again, a gentle invitation to let go or to soften. Maybe that means you roll your shoulders back a time or two. Adjust your posture if that serves you. Letting go of awareness of your belly and your breathing, and letting your awareness come up now of your sit bones, your buttocks, your pelvic area, your genitals. Perhaps in this moment, you can become very aware of the point of contact with the surface that you're resting on, and the heaviness, the solidness of your body as it sits, or if you're reclining, whatever you're able to notice. about this center part of your body. Indeed, a very stable part of your body. Tuning into the posture. And if there's any tension or tightness, a gentle invitation to soften, to let go. Maybe even a message of, it's okay. You're not going to fall over. You're safe. You're sitting very comfortably, very, very stable, solid, connected. And if it serves, taking in a bit of a deeper breath and lovely, slow, gentle exhale as you bring awareness now into your legs. The large muscles, the long bones of your legs, all the tissue, muscles, blood flow, any sensation that's there to be noticed in your legs, your muscles. What are you able to sense right now as you sit? What can you sense in this moment about your upper legs? And now your knees. And your lower legs, your shins, your calf muscles, your whole legs. What is their posture? Can you really sense into the weightedness of your legs? How they support you, how they allow for movement. Bringing your awareness into your ankles. Again, a lot of complicated bones in your ankles that connect your feet to your powerful legs, and how they work intricately, independently, but also in tremendous collaboration with each other. Collaboration, coordination, harmony. It's always helpful if our bones and muscles and various body parts feel some harmony, feeling connected, not separate. Bringing your awareness into your feet, the bottoms of your feet, the tops of your feet, and each of your toes. What are you able to notice about your feet in this moment? Can you feel flatness of the floor if your feet are resting on the floor? Can you sense your footwear or your socks? Is there warmth or coolness? Is there any tension or tightness? Letting go, softening. In this moment of awareness, scanning through your lower body now to see if something has become tense or there's a guarding feeling. And with that awareness, a gentle invitation to let go, to soften. Recognizing that we have spent some lovely time becoming aware of our bodies from the tops of our head to the tips of our toes. Bringing gentle awareness to whatever sensations are there to be noticed inside our bodies. In this moment, if it serves, taking in a deeper breath and lovely, gentle exhale. Scanning through one more time to notice if there's any place that just needs a little bit more of your loving and caring attention. To invite it to let go, soften. Just a few moments now of silence as you bring awareness to your entire body. This includes thoughts, sensations, feelings, just everything from your thinking brain to your feeling fingertips. Just noticing you in this moment, all of you. Whatever's happening in this moment, welcoming it all. Don't need to push anything away. This moment of awareness of your amazing self. A little bit of silence here. Nothing you're supposed to be doing. Resting in this moment. Ten more seconds. I'm gonna chime the bowl now. Chiming the bowl. Nice, nicely done. And, if you notice some things that were difficult, um, that happens, doesn't it? Yeah. Um, and I came across something, and I always appreciate my patients, because the folks that I work with every day, because I always learn things and get reminded of things and past practices. And I was working with someone today, and it just came to me about, basically, this person is okay, but they weren't having a lot of awareness that they were basically okay. So I thought I would leave us with this message, that to notice that right now, if you're breathing, there's more right with you than wrong with you, and um, how to kind of remind yourself of that. And there's very good reasons, and they go into a little bit of the sort of the DNA, the evolutionary stuff, about how all of us are alive today because we had anxious ancestors. That is people that were constantly on guard, looking for the danger, and because they did that, that kept us alive. And as a result, they were allowed to pass on their DNA. And so all of us are here today because somewhere in our ancient history, we had ancestors who were very good at seeing the dangers and living like that, living in an anxious state. Um, and so it's really understandable and it's very automatic. And our systems are, we haven't really changed too much over all these thousands of years. We still have the need to be anxious and on guard, even if it's not so much a threat to our very existence, but we interpret a lot of things as being threatening to us. If someone is speaking in a tone of voice that just sort of unnerves us a little bit, or it's maybe a bit loud or agitated, there's a little message sometimes that we receive that is, oh, we don't like this. It doesn't feel safe. And I use that term, doesn't feel safe, or it's not okay right now, and so we recoil a little bit, and that's a good thing for us to have that kind of awareness. This is why we're doing it, and to be aware of that. And so sometimes it's really hard, though, to recognize, no, in this moment, we're quite safe. There's no need to be on guard. There's no need to feel that tension. And especially if we are in a constant state of, working hard, being on guard, solving problems, tense, 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 it's really hard to kind of let go and relax. And that's again I hope one of the reasons why you come to meditation, because during this practice, you can let yourself relax and feel some safety and trusting yourself that you're able to do this. So, what we can do in another way to think about this is just taking a moment to really, really check in this moment, are we okay? Is there a saber-toothed tiger who's about to pounce on us? Or maybe some of your house cats or your dogs? But are we okay in this moment? We're sitting comfortably. Maybe our hearts are beating in a very lovely, slow rhythm. And that's sometimes an indication that we're feeling okay. No one is attacking you. You're not drowning. There are no bombs falling. There is no immediate crisis right now in this moment. And it might not be perfect. And it maybe there's some judgment. It could be better. Maybe there are other times that we feel more relief or more relaxation in any moment, in any of our meditation times. Some of my meditations are more effective for you than other times. And that's okay. We can't be perfect, and it's never always good. We accept everything, right? But in this moment, right now, in this moment, um, how are you? How are you? When we go forward into the future, there's a lot of worry and planning that is involved in that. When we go into the past, maybe there's resentment, regret, sadness. And all of this sort of involves a fair amount of apprehension and fear and anxiety or sadness, depression. But when we can stay right here, right now, in this moment, not the past and not the future, this moment, can we experience a little bit of respite, just resting right here in this moment? And noticing that we're basically okay. Is your breathing okay? Is your heart beating? Is your mind working? Yes, yes, yes. And so, at any point in our day, sometimes it's nice to do that, to just recognize it's okay. Especially if something kind of scary has happened and you've escaped it, or you've really, you're experiencing some relief. Oh, phew, that was, uh, you're okay. You're okay. And that is, for first responders, police and ambulance, fire. Those are the words of comfort that are often most spoken. You're okay. You're okay. You're here. You're safe. Do we need to do that sometimes for ourselves? You're okay. And I always do this, right? I always bring my hands to my arms, and it's sort of a natural thing that we do too. We kind of collapse into ourselves and we're okay. We're okay. Yeah. And it isn't perfect. Sometimes there are real threats and real issues and real challenges and difficulties. And this isn't about pretending that everything is perfect, or, it's because it's not. But sometimes, even in the middle of difficult moments, we can kind of have that awareness. We can look outside and see that the sun is shining, or that there are birds singing. Somewhere there's a little squirrel playing on a tree. We can escape for a moment and we can look around and think that things are as they should be. Things are as they should be. So I invite you to sort of notice on a fairly regular basis, sometimes maybe several times in a day, that you're basically okay. You might want more money or love or ketchup for your french fries. Or you might want less pain or less heartache or less thick, heavy traffic. All very reasonable things to want for ourselves, to bring, some peace or ease. But meanwhile, underneath all of this toing and froing and shoulding and, oh, it's not right, all of that, are you okay? Underneath your desires and these activities and these things that we judge and these things that we say, there is aliveness and there's awareness that you're okay. So, in moments of real kind of maybe mundane moments, I'm all right. I'm okay. Or you're driving and there's a transport truck driving along beside of you and it's very loud and it passes you, or maybe you're passing it and you get by it and there's some relief, like, okay, I'm okay. I did that. Or maybe you've been in something very difficult and you're finding your way out of it. Can you send that message to yourself? Wow, I did that. That was hard and I'm okay. Yeah. Saying that softly to yourselves. I'm okay. I'm all right. We're okay. We're all right. And noticing that while you're feeling okay and all right, you can still get things done. You can still deal with problems that arise. And that sometimes those fears, I mean, we can notice them. We can know, okay, what am I feeling afraid of, or what am I feeling kind of anxious about, or and that informs us too. So then you can label that. You can kind of recognize, okay, that's something that I don't really like, and but am I okay? Can I take myself away from this if I need to? hmm Sometimes we can't. Sometimes we have that choice, but sometimes you're really not okay, and Maybe something terrible has happened and your body is very disturbed, or your mind is very, very upset. And sometimes reminding ourselves that this is really difficult. Can I be with this? Can I welcome this? As the poet Rumi says, welcome all, the difficult, the sad, the loud, the aggressive, the messy, the quiet. Welcome them all. Because very often there's something that we are meant to understand or learn about ourselves or about the world. And just as soon as you can, notice that you're okay. And it's been described like the surface of a body of water where there's a storm raging and there's huge waves, white caps, and lots of turmoil, and and that's what's happening. Maybe there's thunder and lightning, and it's very, 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 very volatile on the surface of that body of water. But if you go 50 feet underneath that water, there's calm. And so sometimes that's another thing that we can do for ourselves, is tap into that calm that's underneath. You might be sitting in a really difficult situation, and this is called skillful disassociating, when you actually take yourself away from something, kind of bring yourself to that calm inner place. And sometimes that's not possible at all. But sometimes it is. And when we can, notice that we're basically okay and all right in this moment. Just knowing a simple, profound fact that in this moment, you're all right. You're sensing the truth in your body that's deeper than the fear, that breathing and living is okay. You're recognizing that your mind is doing what it's doing. It's trying to protect you in so many ways. And you don't have to participate in that if you don't want to. You can just know that things are difficult, and that's what's happening to you, but that's not who you are. Very, very important. Stuff can happen to us all the time, but what's inside us, what's deep inside us. So sitting with that feeling of basic okayness and solid, and that, and that's what meditation is about. Time and time again, we try to ground ourselves and feel that solidness, that we're okay. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's my message to you tonight. As always, I think there's just a few seconds left for us to send some loving kindness to ourselves and to the world that we live in. Let's do happy and let's do peaceful, because I think those are really lovely and impactful. So may all beings everywhere, including myself, be happy. May all beings everywhere, including myself, be happy. May we live with playful and joyful and patient mind, body, spirit. May all beings everywhere, including myself, be happy. And we can breathe in. And as we exhale again, imagine the power of those loving, kind words travel and are received. And lastly, may all beings everywhere, including myself, be peaceful. May all beings, including myself, be peaceful. And this means to live with the ease and the grace of contentment, stillness, well being. May all beings everywhere, including myself, be peaceful. So let's take in a deeper breath. And as we exhale, imagine that the power of those loving, kind intentions travels outside of our bodies and our homes and into our communities and into the world, received by all beings everywhere, but including ourselves. I'll chime the bowl. We'll let that mark the end of our practice tonight.